it sucks and it hurts when you look at the rim and it seems further away than from when you started.
I'm tired, it feels awkward being here. Nothing feels good.
It's a different bird altogether. Week three's kicking me.
It's not a very good day.
That's what men's calves look like, baby.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Justin Can't Dunk. I'm Justin, and I can't dunk a basketball. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to continue to follow me on my dunk journey. This is technically episode 1 after the introduction. Now, last video, I tested my vertical jump, and it was not ideal. Literally the next day I started the jump program. I started Vert Code and was getting right into the dunk journey. Vert Code should be explained that it's done in phases that usually take around the entire year, 12 months. And each phase usually takes about a month to complete. That being said, I'm not expecting to put my elbow at the rim after the first month. That's absurd. Any program that's expecting or guaranteeing that you jump like 10 inches after 3 weeks is a little suspect, for sure. In this first phase, it's all about building the foundation and your mobility, flexibility, and your core strength. And to be honest, to start out, I had a lot of inconsistencies in some of those areas already. My balance was awful, and both of my hips were very tight on both sides. So I wasn't starting out perfect. And I'll have to say, for at least the first week, it wasn't challenging as much as it was just super awkward. Like, I know for a fact that if you're doing prehab or physical therapy type exercises barefoot in a public gym, it's a little anxiety inducing. But I did everything that Paul Favorites put out except for the pool work. Coach, I know you like your pool work, but I'm in Utah in the middle of winter. I am not getting in that pool.
It's cold out there.
Like light snow with a lot of wind.
That's what
So it
squalling
seems
is?
like a lot.
there's a
like,
lot
so
of-
it
Is
seems
that,
like
is
a
that
lot.
what we're dealing with? Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
there's a big squall outside.
I want y'all to see what the hell we've been dealing with for like the last month.
Show them the squall, Jug. They go outside, you better see the squall.
He's about to get squalled out.
Oh, hell no.
He's about to get captured by the squall.
We're
So
good.
he's about to lose his black card.
We're
I
good
almost
with
lost Solace to the squall earlier.
We're good with that.
In the first week, there are really only 2 main problems that I felt like I had to deal with, and it was my diet and insecurity. For the diet, I'd never been on a diet because I never really needed one. I was always really, really skinny with no fat on me. And for the most part, I've mostly been on an on and off again kind of a bulking phase where I've been just trying to put muscle on me in general. But I wanted to listen to some of the guidelines that the program gave me just in case that there were some inconsistencies or holes in my diet that I might have been missing. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm the kind of person that's totally addicted to fast food. I eat out constantly. So I had to try to wean myself off of this, like in the first week. It was pretty difficult. I went from this to this to this. I hadn't had Olive Garden in over a month. And as for supplements, I usually stayed pretty simple with it. Standard protein, creatine, liquid IVs depending on how hard I ran that day. And when it comes to the insecurities, I already explained that sometimes when you're doing certain exercises, it's a little awkward, but specifically one of them always had me kind of freaking out because it was the one where I was essentially doing what was like a Michael Jackson lean. And, you know, you're kind of on your feet for that, like you're leaning forward. And, you know, I thought that I was just doing a concentrated exercise, but apparently to everybody else, I kind of looked like Dylan Brooks, kind of just staring there like. But after a couple of days, the insecurity kind of went away, and I usually work out a little later in the day anyway. Usually work out more at night anyway, so I just went a little later where there were less people. Didn't tend to bother me too much after that. Week 2 had a lot of the same things that week 1 did, but I was able to bump up the weights, which means that I was progressing in these exercises and I was getting better. And I was feeling better in my joint areas, like in my knees and hips. But at this point, I was starting to feel a little mentally exhausted. Like having to concentrate this much on this type of exercise after not for so long does kind of take its toll a little bit.
It's not a very good day. I just ran some pickup and it did not go well. I didn't make a single shot, no scoring, nothing fantastic on defense. I was cold to the touch. Like if you touched my arm, I was dead cold. The gym was cold, and I'm praying that it's just because we're in the middle of winter, and you know, that sucks. Like sometimes you just can't move, like your fingers are cold, your knees are cold, everything's just icy. The court's not clean, and it really messes your day up when you have bad runs on the court. Like you just can't get yourself to get to the gym. But I'm here and I'm trying to keep a positive attitude, which is a little difficult sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, like being in week 2 and kind of feeling like I'm not jumping high enough, even from when I started, it's weighing down on me. I know it's because I'm tired. I know it's because my muscles are weak and a little stressed from the workouts, like a good stress, but it sucks and it hurts when you look at the rim and it seems further away than from when you started. And I'm just telling myself, trust the process, make it through the first phase, and then move on to the second phase when you get there, because you're halfway through the first phase, man. That's all I'm trying to get through, is that I'm just trying to push through and trust Paul Fabritz's process. So let's hit the gym real quick. Yeah, we gotta get out of here.
But I move forward. You know, we keep going. That's kind of the reason of this entire journey, is to see how far I can take it. I just had to remind myself that the results aren't immediate, you know?
Okay. So the workout actually made me feel a little better, and I kind of had to remind myself of something about this program specifically, is that I'm not going to feel like I'm going to be getting any gains for vertical leap in this first month, in this first phase. I mean, I guess some people do, but I'm not going to, for the sole fact that I already have a lot of developed muscles in the aspects of jumping, but not in stability and like balance in my feet. So I just have to remind myself that this first phase is just prepping me. It's priming me to be able to actually do things better in the second phase without injury, without flaw. So it's relax, you're rehabilitating right now. My joints feel fine so far. I haven't had any pains like I usually would at this point by starting a program. Like my knees would be on fire, my back would be on fire, my legs would be burning each day, and that hasn't quite happened. It happened in the first week, but not the second week so far. So as long as I continue to push myself, stay within my limits without going too overboard and injuring myself like I usually would at this point, stay on course. That's the whole point. Stay on course. Don't deviate like I usually would. Don't get depressed. This is part of the process. Trust the process.
I may not be able to dunk at the end of this month. I may not be able to dunk at the end of next month. I might not be able to dunk ever, honestly. But there is a chance, and that's why we're doing this. I'm hoping that I can actually dunk further down the line. I had this thought that week 3 was going to be more of the same from week 1 and 2, but they did change it up a little bit. And did it get me sweating?
I was kind of expecting more of the same, but I'm tired. It feels good, but it's a different burn altogether. Week three is kicking me. That was a good surprise. That was a good shock. I liked that. I like it so far. All right, let's get through the rest of this week. Get this phase finished.
While the workouts I was actually able to handle, the cravings started to come back pretty hard.
Almost a month in, no soda, no Dr. Pepper. I think the lack of sweet tea is starting to affect me. Like, I've tried to cut out as much candy and sugar as possible, although I do kind of mess up every once in a while. Yeah.
And then I started to run into some other issues, like the holidays.
Okay, I messed up pretty bad this week. Week 3 started out great, but then the weekend got a hold of me. I haven't been able to work out for the last 2 days, so I missed 2 days. It is Christmas Eve. It is the 24th of December right now. And I am going to the gym that closes in 2.5 hours. And I have a dinner to get to. And I have 2 days worth of workout to do. So we about to get this gym sesh real good, real hard, and I'm gonna go pass out on somebody's couch. All right, let's get this workout done.
You have to try to do your best even if life does get in the way. The last week of the first phase showed up, and it was just more of the same of the third week. I did kind of have to rearrange a couple things, seeing as how the week was smack between Christmas and New Year's. That being said, by the end of the first phase, I was feeling more flexible, I was a little more mobile than usual, and I did have a proper warm-up routine. And I was ready to try again.
So, we're in week 4. We're a few days shy of finishing the first phase in PJF. This is the only court that we could possibly get to be able to record anything in. All the other ones are super full, they've got intramurals going on, or they just suck in general. I do want to preface, the floor in here is tile, although non-slip, there won't be any slippage or anything like that. It doesn't have any give like a regular wood court would. So I really don't feel like it's going to be the best, but it's what we have, and it's what we're going to work with. I'm all warmed up, did my little warm-ups and some layups, and then we're just going to jump into it. All right, let's get going.
First, my 1-foot jump was the same, and then my standing jump was a little higher. And then I got to my 2-foot jump, which is my highest jump, which was worse? What? Okay, the floor is bad in that gym, so I thought that if I ran a couple games, got really hot, muscles all warmed up and ready to go, I would try again. And I still jumped worse. Honestly, as disappointing as it was to have my best jump actually be worse over a month's time, the results were all over the place. While my 1-foot stayed the same, my standing vert actually went up just a little bit. And while my 2-foot jump was lackluster, I had a hidden test that I had yet to show you guys. A month ago, in my original video, I had done a vert test. One of those jumps I had actually left out of the footage, and it was when I was going up with both hands on a 2-foot jump. This time around, I actually jumped higher, if you can believe it. As my numbers were very inconsistent and all over the place, and the court also being known to kill a little bit of your jumps, I have to give this month a very inconclusive result. But as I said, prepping for my foundation and my mobility was not going to get me to jump higher, especially because I have done vertical jump training before, many years ago, and I have been a very active person since. I am not a prime subject for the first month to be expecting like a 5-inch vertical leap. Those types of people are the ones that usually come in with little to no knowledge, and usually they're also the ones that have very inconsistent types of jumping patterns and techniques. My hips feel engaged, my knees don't hurt. I think it is a successful month, even though that I did not happen to jump any higher, and I still cannot dunk a basketball. However, I did take a peek into the next 2 phases. They have a lot more aside from just building foundation in them, which means I'm expecting to see a lot more progress in the next coming months. That is where the real test begins. Stay tuned, because I think the next one is definitely one to watch. All right, guys, there you have it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.